Hey guys, it's me, Nikki. What up? I know I haven't made a video in a while. I know I was meant to and everything. I actually did. I made a video, but I was a little bit drunk when I did it, and it became overly morbid, but on a topic that probably shouldn't have turned out that bad. So I'm going to try to talk about it again today. But look, I got a new tattoo. It's pretty, hey? Yay! I've decided that I'm probably going to be covered quite soon. But, so yeah, so it's a butterfly. It still needs to be colored in and everything. But it's a, obviously butterfly, half biomechanical, half biological. So the biomechanical side symbolizes how society is constantly trying to get us to conform to their will, constantly trying to get us to fit into their little boxes, into their little, so we become their little machines. And then obviously the biological side is us being animals, being human. That's what we are. And no matter how hard anybody tries, human instinct always takes over. And then obviously butterfly symbolizes rebirth. So it's me, yay, because I'm constantly learning about myself. I'm constantly learning who I am, what I like, what I don't like. So yeah, so these are things that I need to learn about myself. So another symbolism thing, yay. So, and also today I did crazy makeup, and by crazy I just mean like a lot, because I wanted to. One of my friends, I showed like a before and after like 2 years ago to now, and one of my friends was like, oh, don't try to trick us, it's just makeup. So I thought I would show what makeup does. Makeup doesn't make me a woman, but it definitely helps when it comes to being identified as a woman, because unfortunately I still have a beard. So shit needs to be covered up. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about this book launch that I went to the other night. It's a book launch for a book called Always Anastasia, which is written about by a trans girl who lives here in Johannesburg, where I live, and she basically just talks about what it's like to be transgender in South Africa, and you know how the troubles she's gone through in her profession. She's a doctor, and the things she struggled with in her religion because she's Jewish, and how her family have come to accept her, but it wasn't always an easy thing. And it got me thinking that I haven't read the book yet, but I will. But it got me thinking how I've had quite a lucky transition. Not in terms of like nothing bad happened to me. Obviously bad stuff has happened to me, but in terms of my immediate family didn't freak out overly much. I mean, my gran did threaten to disown me, and she didn't talk to me for a couple months, and then she was like, okay, no, it's cool. I get who you are. Sorry about the TV in the background. Switch it off. I was like, you know, so she disowned me for a bit, which is sad because she raised me. And my mom was cool until I started taking hormones, and then she freaked out. And then obviously there's like uncles and cousins and stuff that I don't talk to anymore. So it hasn't been completely easy for me, but at the same time, I didn't get kicked out of home. Granted, I was living by myself in a different city at the time, so I was somewhat independent. And I suppose that's where I want to talk, well, what I want to touch on today as well. You know, while I sat there was a lot of my friends there who are trans, who I could see the pain, as this lady was talking about how her parents had to struggle to come to terms with her and stuff like that, and you could see the emotion that was there. You could see that they were all going through similar things. You know, there was a lot of pain in the room, and this got me thinking, because I was like, well, I'm really lucky, because although I started late, I was somewhat independent, not overly, but somewhat, and I was really, really sad. And I've got a friend now as well who's just told her mom that she's trans. And her mom's in like such denial about all of it that she's like, no, you must just go to a therapist and get antidepressants and get anti-anxiety and things like that, and it'll be fine. And I've had to say to my friend, you know, you have to understand that you've known this your whole life, but your parents have only just found out, or your mom at least has just found out. So you have to be a little bit patient. But it is also hard when that's their reaction, because it kind of makes it seem like there's no hope, there's no moving forward from it. But eventually there is, you know. From what I've seen, a lot of parents do come around. They do realize. My mom did as well. And then it becomes kind of okay. Not 100%, but kind of okay. But it's a learning process for both of you, because you kind of figuring out who you are, and they have to relearn who you are, which 9 out of 10 times I think it's a big knock to the ego for the parents, because the parents think they know you backwards. You always get that argument of, oh, but I changed your diapers, and oh, I did this, and I did. And when you tell them that they were wrong, that they didn't actually know you, I think pride comes into it, which adds and leads to that doubt and that, oh, but I know you better than you kind of story, which isn't the case. But you've also got to realize that your life is your life. And if they don't agree, then you need to take the steps to do what you need to do. Obviously, if you're old enough to. If you're younger, just remember, like, the moment you're old enough to move, you can. I know it's a hard thing to say, and it's easier said than done, but your happiness and your sanity comes first. And who we are is who we are. There's no denying it. So you can't just be like, oh, but, I'll get to... No, it's who you are. And with the suicide rates as high as it is for transgender people, you don't want to play around with that. I still get suicidal, and I'm happy, relatively. I have an amazing fiance, I have my own place, I have a great job, I'm accepted. Like Anastasia was saying, she's a doctor, so she's had real struggles in the medical profession because of her being trans. I'm a photographer, I'm in a profession where it's almost encouraged to be different. So I'm very lucky. So it is hard, and I've neglected that. I've neglected the fact that I am privileged. I am reasonably passable. Aside from my voice, I kind of look female. And I'm lucky. I'm only 2 years in. And it's, and I'm lucky that I haven't had to have any surgeries yet. I do plan on having surgeries, but not yet. So I have had a very lucky transition. And I just want to say for the people out there who haven't been so fortunate that it does get better. If you look at photos of me a year ago, I looked hideous. I still think I look hideous now, but I'm starting to feel better about myself. But a year ago, I would have never been brave enough to go out in a dress and things like that by myself. I'd go with Caitlin or I'd go with friends, because then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm protected in my little box. But now I'm like, let's go. And I'm quite happy. I'm confident enough in myself to do it, which I wouldn't have been a year ago. So there is progress. I'm not saying I don't have my down days. Like I say, I still get suicidal. I still think it would just be easier to not be here. I still get just... like today with my friend being like, oh, but it's just makeup. That comment hurt me because it was a 2-year before and after. A lot's happened to me in 2 years, and I feel I've changed a lot in 2 years. But if it's put down to it's just makeup, then what have I actually accomplished in 2 years in regards to my transition? That upset me. So being down is natural. Being upset is natural. It's how we recover from that defines us. I kind of sulked a little bit, and then I was like, what, fuck it, excuse my language, I'm going to do a photo shoot. So I set up my own lights, and I set up my own camera, and I did my makeup, and I took photos before I put on my makeup and shaved, and then I shaved, and then took photos, and then I did makeup, and then took photos, just to show that the correlation is there, that yes, with makeup makes a massive difference. It does. But at the same time, my face is exactly the same without it. I have a bit of stubble, but my face shape is the same. If I put my hair back, my face is the same. That's not going to change whether I have makeup or not. This is who I am. So yes, my eyes are accentuated, and yes, my cheekbones are contoured a bit. But at the end of the day, my face is my face. And normally, I'm checking myself up. And normally, I get down and I get insecure and I need to put on makeup because I feel that it makes me look more feminine. But doing the correlation, doing the comparison between the three, I've realized that I still look feminine even with a beard. And there's nothing wrong with having a beard. I do want to get rid of it, but that's my own self-comfort. But there's nothing wrong with it. And I've been working with these people who have said to me, they're like, listen, embrace it. If you don't feel like shaving that day, do makeup anyway. Have makeup and a beard, why not? And that's the thing, that's the fluidity that I'm kind of going for now, because yes, I am female, but females don't necessarily have to look a specific way. Females can have side cuts. Females can have tattoos. If need be, females can have beards. Like, who's writing the rules on what a female's meant to look like, or what a boy's meant to look like? So, you know, I think we should all kind of embrace this fluidity. It'd be really cool. I think it'd be a great idea to just play, just, you know, get in there, just be like, yeah. Anyway, so I was talking about this story, and all my friends were there, and there was a lot of sadness in the room, and I just wanted to say that, like, yes, sometimes our parents can be difficult. Yes, sometimes society can be difficult, but eventually it does get better. Eventually, you get past that awkward stage. I'm still in the awkward stage. My voice sounds like a but eventually you start to find some comfort in yourself. You start to feel like you're not wearing a pair of, this is my analogy, your body are ice skates. And I went ice skating recently, that's why. You know, so you eventually start to feel that your body's not like a pair of hired skates. You know, like you get them and they're kind of gross, but you put them on anyway because you're like, I want to skate, but you know, you'd like 3 socks to make sure you don't pick up anything, like, gross. And then you give it back and you're like, cool, I'm done, I don't want it, you know? But eventually you start to realize that your body's your body. And then, like, it's like, eventually you get to a point where you're like, these are my skates. I love these skates. These skates are the best skates. And I'm going to skate them every day. I know it's a terrible analogy, but I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me. So, sorry, I lose track of my thought because I'm trying to concentrate on my voice. It's the most annoying thing. Anyway, so yeah, so like to my friends who were sad and who are going through things and who are, like, I had a friend tell me to my face that she's been thinking about killing herself. And, like, yes, while killing yourself would be easy, you know, like, because once you get to that point where you feel like nobody cares, then it seems like the only alternative. I've been there. I've been there this year. Been there this month. But there is always somebody that cares about you. Even if you don't talk to them often, they care. And should you extend a hand to them and be like, listen, I actually do need help, you'll probably be surprised at how many people would be there for you. You know, so it's a hard topic, but the key, like I said, it's how you recover from it. It's how you recover from being sad. You know, it's easy to quit. It is. I have thought about quitting my transition 100 million times because it's hard. It's not easy. Like, down to being as stupid as shaving. I shave my face, but because of the hormones I've taken for 2 years, my skin's really soft. So I end up, like, shredding my face. Like, it's terrible. Like, I cut myself so bad. And I'm no, like, rookie at shaving. I've done it for years. Like, since I was 12. So, but I cut because my skin's soft. Like, and that's frustrating. Like, it's the most annoying. I'm just like, and then I just want to be like, cut. Because it's so easy to fall into that pattern of thinking. It's so easy to be like, oh, well, you know, fuck it, I'm already bleeding, let me just cut more, you know? And it's so easy when you have a fight with a girlfriend, or you fight with your fiance, or a fight, yes, Caitlin, not you, and to be like, nobody loves me, I'm not worth it. But you have to remember that you are worth it, you know? And just because you have a dispute with someone doesn't mean they don't like you, doesn't mean they hate you. It just means that you have a disagreement. You know, nobody is 100% compatible. This is you, this is me. Even though we have very similar interests, we'll never overlap 100%. There will always be a margin for error. There will always be a margin of disagreement. And you can't avoid that. You know, so it's so easy to be like, I hate myself, nobody loves me, because you have an argument. But at the end of the day, those people do love you. And 9 out of 10 times it's just because they don't understand. So it's the best thing just to be as open and honest as you can, so that you help them understand. This has been a very choppy video. My mind is everywhere at the moment. I'm not suicidal now, so it's okay. But I'm just saying, like, it does happen, even to me, who's evidently happy. Like, I have a fiance, I have a house, I have this, I have like the dream, but I still have down days. So again, if you guys ever need to chat or anything, message me on asknicole@gmail.com. I don't really read the comments that often, so you can catch me there. If you like the video or whatever, you can subscribe. I think it's like the first time I've ever said that. As always, you can follow me on my Instagram and stuff like that, and I reply to people there, I promise. So yeah, so this is a quick video, a little mumble jumble, just a bit of a rant. I hope it helps. And I'm still going to work on my voice. I'm still working. I'm trying. It chops and changes, and then I get into a thought process, and then my voice disappears, and then it's. But I'm still working on it because life is working on things. I think I've become blonde. I'm kidding. That's terrible. I didn't say that. Okay. Bye.